It's fall here in Owl Moon Homestead, and I live in a warm climate, a Mediterranean type climate, and the leaves have not turned color yet, but there is a distinct feeling of fall in the air here. You can see a lot of leaves have fallen. I need to get some work done down here. These are actually some chrysanthemums that I bought in big pots last year, and they have survived the heat of our summer. I put them in a sort of a shaded area, and now they're blooming again, so I was really lucky to get these guys in a good spot so they could bloom and give us some beautiful fall color. I'm trying to sneak in a crop of beans here, but I'm also focusing a lot on growing more herbs in this area. I got some Tulsi or holy basil growing here. I've just tucked different things in. There's some anise hyssop. And over in this bed I've got comfrey and burdock mixed in with the strawberries. And there's some lemon verbena and lemongrass. And over there was a surprise plant that came. I know I planted it from seed, and then I thought it was gone, but actually that looks to be vervain. So I just love it when there's little surprises like that. I also have marshmallow, which will give me marshmallow root and some motherwort. And so I'm really enjoying my herbs here mixed in with some vegetables. The elderberry tree has lost most of its leaves. It's getting really big and tall now, and it's right next to a native toyon, and it's going to get some nice red berries on it. It's a California native, and so I can cut some of that and bring it in and decorate for Yule. And of course I have my roses growing here, my fall blooming roses. This year, the live oak tree had tons and tons of these acorns, and I've gathered some of them up. Of course, the squirrels are going to feed off of them. They've been digging holes and trying to bury them, and the dogs dig them up, and it's kind of an endless process. But I have brought some in the house, and I'm going to be harvesting some things for making a magical potpourri, which I'm going to show you how to make in a minute. But it will definitely have acorns in it. And one thing about the acorns is that not only are they about abundance and strength and all that, and grounding, of course, but when you think about the individual little acorn, it's got a mini oak tree inside of it. And that, to me, symbolizes potential. Think about the potential from a tiny oak tree and how it will grow into a big tree like this one. That's where it came from. That's its maw right there. Digging up the acorns and looking for gophers there. So here's a lovely yellow rose that's blooming right now. And I'm definitely going to be using some of the roses in my potpourri that are from my garden. So if you have a garden and you can pick things wherever you happen to be, you can make a seasonal potpourri. And I'm going to show you my seasonal potpourri. I will definitely include some of the roses and some of the acorns and other things that I have foraged here on the property. But if you don't have a large yard, you can go visit a park or some area where you can pick up some things to include in your potpourri. Of course, make sure that it's legal. Anything that you're picking up, we have ordinances here that don't allow you to pick up or harvest herbs and things that are growing out in the wild. So anyway, that just make sure that it's okay for you to pick things and gather things up. Even in some places, they don't let you pick up stones and things like that. So just be mindful of the ordinances in your area and never, never, never overharvest anything. Okay, I've gathered up my ingredients for my fall potpourri, and this potpourri is different from a simmer pot. A simmer pot is where you simmer things in water, and that water evaporates and puts a scent out into the air. But after you're finished with the simmer pot, you need to probably compost or throw away the ingredients you put into it. And a potpourri is dried, and so you can enjoy it for a lot longer, and it will be putting constant energy of your wonderful magical ingredients into the air in your environment, in your home. So the star of my potpourri is obviously going to be acorns, and I have 3 cypress leaves. I figure 3 is a great magical number. 3 of each color of the chrysanthemums that were blooming, a beautiful red rose, some cinnamon, which I did not grow, of course, and some bergamot oil. And to put in some essential oils, you're going to be helping that fragrance to be a little bit stronger and for the whole thing to last a little bit longer. So let's get started. So I put in my rose petals, my mums, and my cypress leaves. Okay, I put them in my mortar and pestle, and I'm going to be mashing them together somewhat. And then I will add some of these acorns. I didn't want to mash up the acorns. I wanted to leave them whole. And now I will add three shakes of cinnamon to this. 1, 2, 3. And 3 drops of bergamot. If you decide something isn't smelling strong enough, you can always add more, but 3 is such a magical number. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And I'll mix this all together with my hands. And now I've got some fresh ingredients in here. That smells so wonderful. That could possibly get mold on them. So I'm going to try to dry this out. It seems helpful to put them in a basket, and then every day, at least once a day, you're going to go and just Mix them up. I've dried rose petals this way lots of times. Okay, so a basket that's kind of a loosely woven small basket. You put them in there and let the whole thing sort of dry out. And once you've done that, you can get like a decorative bowl. I collect lots of bowls and things like that. Typical witchy maximalist fashion, right? You pick up stuff at yard sales and stuff all the time. So do I. And then you can fill these little bowls. See, they're going to come to a good use, right? It's not just a whole bunch of junk you collected. Going to use it, all right? And we're going to put the potpourri. Once it's dried, you're going to put that in your decorative bowl, and you can leave it on a desk or a coffee table, an altar. Okay, so there's your potpourri, and it's very beautiful. And even after it dries, it's going to be really lovely looking. And it smells wonderful. Every so often, just go around and mix it up, and you'll be releasing that aroma as well as the magical properties of your plants or your herbs that you've included. Okay? And then also, once it's all mixed up, don't forget to charge it up. And I'm thinking that I'm charging this magical mixture, this lovely potpourri concoction of mine, to release the sweetness of roses, the protection of the chrysanthemums, the lovely growth and long life and health of the evergreen, as well as the potential of that mighty acorn. So mote it be. I hope that you are able to make a wonderful potpourri. If you have to buy some of the ingredients, that's perfectly okay. Just make sure that they are ethically sourced, sustainably sourced things that you're putting into your potpourri, and make it an expression of you and what you want to accomplish in your magical cottage. Until next time, remember, it's all about the energy.